Welcome back. And before we get started, today is gonna be a good day. Hope you guys staying positive, loving yourself, and doing makes you happy. Now guys, we are back with another video. Now this video is something a little bit different. So today's June 1st, okay? If you guys know me, if you've been around for a while, then you know today's my birthday. So shout out to me. But the important reason we are here is because today is the release of my wife's podcast. It's called A Part of Parenting. So she's been talking about this podcast to me for a little minute now. I was saying, babe, all it takes is to move to do it and put it out. She said, okay, well, I'll drop it on your birthday. I said, okay, well, that's fine with me. So guys, in this video, I want you guys to relax and chill out and just enjoy my wife's podcast. It's all about parenting. This one is called about accountability for parenting. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and you follow me on all my social media platforms, which I will have in the description below. Guys, I also put the link to my wife's podcast below, so if you want to follow her. Also social media. Guys, remember, the Breathe No More Again merchandise shop is now out. Check it out at breathenomoreagain.myspreadshop.com. Will also be in the description below. Guys, remember to stay positive, love yourself, do what makes you happy. And before we go, today's gonna be a good day. Guys, enjoy the video.
Hey guys, welcome to A Part of Parenting podcast. I am your host, Asia Smiley, and welcome. First and foremost, I want to kind of briefly discuss why I decided to make this podcast. So it's been on my heart for a few months now. I've been a mom for 2 years. I've worked with children since I was 15 years old, and I used to be called Mama D when I worked in childcare, just because I've always had like this nurturing aura about myself, I guess. And so even though I've been an actual mom for 2 years, I've always given off this motherly vibe around youth, around adults. And so I really feel like, why not share my perspective, my point of view, my experiences with other parents, or with people who are soon to be entering into parenthood, who are considering parenthood, who are planning to become parents, who are seasoned parents, who are no longer parents. Why not, share my experiences and my perspectives on such a unique and such a rewarding and fulfilling and challenging part of life. It's been on my heart for a while, and I've been so busy. I don't think I've had the courage to really jumpstart this podcast, and so I woke up a few days ago and I was like, let me start recording for this podcast that's been so heavily on my heart and get the ball rolling. So thank y'all for tuning in. This is my first episode, and I'm so excited about really investing and committing to this project. I think it's going to be one that's going to be very rewarding, very fulfilling, and I'm super excited. So on this first episode, I'll be talking about accountability. Accountability in parenthood is so critical. It's so important. And I think parenthood now looks so much different than it did 5 years ago. And I wasn't a parent 5 years ago, but I have a parent. I have a mother who has been very invested and very committed. She's my best friend. She's been a great mom to me in my 25 years of life, and I'm grateful for her. She's been a great example for me. My grandmothers have been great examples for me. And so I've pretty much gotten a really good guide of how to be a great mom. So there are things that I've experienced in life that have taught me how to be a great mom. And there are things that I've experienced in life that have kind of flagged my instincts and flagged my mental to tell me not to use certain things in parenthood. And so I'm grateful for every experience that I've had, because it's taught me to be better. It's taught me to not be guarded, but it's taught me to be attentive. That's a better word. It's taught me to be attentive, and it's my experiences have instilled a lot in me now as an individual and also as a new mom. But accountability, it looks so different today. I just think it's so hard to hold parents today in my generation accountable for things that their children may do or things that they may even do. And so often now I see on social media, you can't parent someone else's child, which is true. However, I'm reminded all the time by my mom, by other men and women from older generations, that if a child did something that was wrong and their parents weren't around, they disciplined them for the parent. And though I'm not very, I don't want anybody else disciplining my child except my mother or my husband's mom, that's just one of the examples of why I think accountability has changed so much over the years. Now, I'm not even talking about accountability just in the form of discipline. I'm talking about even in the smaller things. When children say or do things that are not necessarily respectful or are not representative of who their parents are or who their parents want them to be, the minute we as adults who witness these behaviors or hear these words that are used that are derogatory, that are profane, or that are rude or disrespectful, instead of the parent correcting or redirecting their child, we hear, well, who was he around, or what caused him or her to say these things, or what did you do to make them feel this way, or say this thing, or do this thing? And I think it's so strange. And of course, I'm not bashing anyone for their parenting, but I think we have to look at accountability a lot different and understand that our children are reflections of ourselves. So it's important that we are very particular and almost meticulous about what we say, what we do around our children, because our children are sponges. Our children will repeat what they hear us say. Our children will repeat what they see us do. And so if our children go somewhere where we are not present, are we being accountable for the things that our children say? Are we holding ourselves responsible for the things that our children may do? And I understand that children have public exposure. They may go to a public school or even a private school. They're around other children, and repetition is so common. It's common in the household. It's common in the schoolhouse. It's common everywhere. So it's important that we as parents hold ourselves accountable and hold our children accountable by ensuring that we're correcting and redirecting our children. And I think I use those two words so much even now with myself and with my husband, because my son, he's 2. And once they turn 2, they start repeating everything that they hear. They start imitating everything that they see someone else do. And so if my child is saying bad words, I'm holding myself accountable and I'm holding myself responsible, because he's either heard myself or he's heard my husband say things and he knows that he shouldn't say them, such as curse words. Sometimes we might slip up and say a bad word, and then if my son repeats it, I can't be mad at him because I'm the one using this derogatory language. So now I have to correct myself and redirect my son to use proper and more respectful language. So yes, I think accountability is so important. And it starts with us. It starts with us as parents. And we have to ensure and hope that when we send our kids off into the world, when we send them into public areas, when we send them with grandparents or friends, that they are representing us in the best way that we hope that they can, in the best way that we teach them to. They reflect back us to anyone they come in contact with. So we have to ensure that there's accountability, that there's correction and redirection. So thank y'all for tuning in to the very first episode of A Part of Parenting podcast. Again, I'm your host, Deja Smiley, and I look forward to creating more episodes and sharing with you all. And hopefully this is a way to help all of us, not just you all, but even myself, navigate through this part of life called parenthood.